here's our pipe barn. I gotta find a pole that can fit in there, and this can tighten on top of it. So we're gonna pick one out here. This is what we're gonna use to put it on the box. This will mount onto the box, and then with this screw, tightens it onto the pole. So it's the easiest way to put a box onto a pole. Look at that. That's perfect. A Diablo blade. We got a Diablo blade on here. We'll see what it can do. If I can even do this with gloves on, I don't know. Woo! Let's look at the thickness of this pipe. Let's see how thick it was. Look at that! Look at that! The Diablo blade, right through that crap. Actually, that's not crap. That's this pipe's probably close to 100 years old. This was done in, I don't know, in the 30s maybe, 30s, 40s. I don't know. It's been a long time. This whole hillside is just spider webbed with pipes everywhere. When you're walking, you'll see the old pump jacks, and you'll see pipes coming across, sticking out of the ground in different spots. And they laid all this pipe by hand, by horse, dragging this, digging by hand. And that's the steel they made back then. So, and this piece of pipe is probably twice as heavy as if I was to buy a fence post from the store or some kind of piping from the store. So here's the instructions that came with, and they're screws, but it comes with some really long screws and washers. And I think they want you to go from inside the box into a wooden post or something, but we're not doing it that way. We're actually going to be coming the opposite way, so we can't use these really long screws. And the directions say something about something. We don't need that. And what I found are these screws. So this is going to go onto the box like this. I found these real short ones, and it looks like they're going to go in just enough without poking through the box. And then I found these ones, but these ones are, shoot, they'd be in the box almost half an inch. So we're going to go with these flat washered ones and see how that works. One up high, and then we'll put the second one down low. Now the only thing we'll have to worry about, because we're going to put two brackets on it instead of one, they have to be lined up so that the box doesn't end up crooked when it's mounted. And this box is made out of it's either cedar or cypress. I'm not sure what it is. I didn't make this box. Somebody actually gifted it to me. So we definitely got to get this put up and show them how it turns out. Anytime you get a gift from somebody. Now we're very precise when we do our work. Everything is measured out perfectly. We try not to eyeball anything. Now, how am I going to line the second one up so that it's nice and straight? We're going to cheat. And look how perfectly lined up that is. Our measurements are so perfect. Now I don't need it on the pole right now, because we're going to have to bang that pole in. Now we can just make sure that that's tightened, because that's where it's staying. And this is all galvanized part. I'm quite sure there's cheaper ways, a cheaper bracket. Just that this is just what I found, so it's getting it. And you could see on my pole, I already marked this pole 3 foot up from the ground with tape. So when I stick this pole up and pound it into the ground, we want to get it as close as we can to that, so that it doesn't end up leaning over. So now we have to make a baffle so that the predators don't come up. And I've watched all kind of videos online, and this is what I've came up with from watching other guys. Now I've got two of these because I've got two boxes to do, but we're only going to set up one. Now this is 6-inch galvanized tubing here, and it just gets snapped together. And they actually make caps for it that we're going to stick right inside there, and then we'll rivet it closed. But what I did is I just put it on the end of our pole, and I drew a circle on there, and that's what we've got to cut out. Now that's real sharp. That'll cut you, so be careful. And I'm going to drill and put some rivets in. We're going to hold everything together with 3/16 rivets because that's just what I had. So what's going to happen is after we have our duck box up here, this will go on first, like this. And then the duck box will go above it. That way if a raccoon or something tries to climb up, he can't get his arms on this. So how are we going to hold that from sliding and going to the ground? That's where these come into play. Tighten them up, and that will keep this from falling all the way down to the ground. So this on here like this, one on that side and one on that side, tightened down, is going to keep that from falling down on there. So we're going to go down to the creek. I think I got a spot where I want to put it, and we'll try to bang this into the ground. Before we go down to the water, I'm going to fill this up with this pine bark shavings. You don't want to use sawdust because they say the wet chicks will get stuck in the sawdust and get all jacked up. So just wood shavings is good enough. Four inches or so. Put our little pin back in. Okay, ready to go. All right, we're trying to figure out where to put it on this area here. Right here is where we normally cross with the buggies, and it's mud right around in here. So I was thinking about putting it on top of this hill right here, kind of facing the water, or should it be in the water, actually down in that water? So I'm actually liking this hill right here. So it's up a little bit higher. I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to get this pole in the ground. See, if I put it down there, a predator might be able to climb up those trees and jump onto the box. So your box location has to be free from any trees that will be above it, because actually on my deer feeders, I've got pictures of raccoons climb up the tree and then falling down off the tree onto the feeder and then flipping into the feeder to eat. So they're smart enough to know to get above it and come down on it. So I'm quite sure they'd be able to jump from there onto the duck box because they'll try to eat the eggs. That's where it likes. It likes that spot right there. Let me get a ladder. This is going to be the fun part. Make sure you're safe every time you do something. Okay, I tighten my brackets and I just pull these little tabs out like that. Now we can slide our baffle over, or predator guard. We don't want it, we want it pretty loose. We want it to be able to wobble. There we go, see that? That's what you want. So when they come and grab onto it, they're slipping off. Now we can slide our box over. You see how I pulled it right in. So that's it. So that's the first wood duck box done, complete. I'm going to try to walk out here without busting through. It looks like it's about 3 feet deep right there. A nice stretch of creek right here. Right on the edge of this bank. I'm going to have to keep these weeds cleared down. I'll have to come down here and mow this because you don't want anything to be able to jump onto that box. But that hole is about 6 foot high, I guess.